Let's go out to my hometown in H-Town, go Stros, and talk to Sarah. What's up, Sarah?
Hey, Dr. John. It's so great to talk to you.
It's super great to talk to you, man. How are we doing?
I'm good. I'm hiding in my closet from my kids. That's what moms do in the summer.
Kelly just raised both hands and said, preach, sister. What's up?
Oh, see, I know I'm not alone here, okay?
Oh, you're totally alone. I'm just kidding. What's up? What's up?
No, so my question was, I guess I phrased it, how do I better handle my anxiety and my stress in the summertime? And so to give you a little background, I am a wife and a mom of 3 active boys and
How old?
8, almost 10, and 12.
Woo!
It's rowdy over here.
I bet so.
So summertime for like my teacher self.
Like, are you a teacher?
Oh, yes. I meant to add that to the end. Yes, I am a teacher.
What years?
Well, I'm elementary, but I jumped into special ed this past year.
Okay. So can I just say thank you for your service? I feel like you've been deployed and you're back. So thank you. God almighty, that's a tough road. So when was school out?
We got out about a week ago. Actually, it was right before Memorial Day. So I'm kind of a week into finding our groove as a family. No,
there's no groove yet.
Okay. I'm trying to give myself grace.
Mom gets 2 weeks to recover.
Okay.
Like at least 2 weeks.
That'd be awesome. My boys are like 1,000 miles an hour.
I know. I'll walk you through how to deal with them. But mom, all of this starts. So my guess is that anxiety is a couple of things. Number one, your body's fried. It's cooked. You're exhausted. I've been a teacher. Yeah. You're done. You get done and you collapse. And then some idiot in your life's like, oh my gosh, it's so great to get summers off. And it's like, bro, I'm in recovery. Like this isn't off. I've been working 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the last... Anyway, so number one, your body is trying to get your attention to be like, we can go no more. We can go no more. Number two, probably, you can tell me if I'm wrong, your husband doesn't fully grasp the severity of everything? And he's just business as usual?
He's amazing. He's wonderful. He helps around the house, carries the load with me. Mm-hmm. But he is, so a new piece of this puzzle is he just started working from home about 1.5 years ago.
Oh, fart in a box on a stick. Yikes. That's a lot of dudes in your house.
Yeah, it's a frat house over here. It's just
there's pee everywhere. Oh, jeez.
So I think in March, literally March or April, I'll have a day where I'm like, I need to talk to you. And he's like, are you getting nervous again about summer? I'm like, yes. The groceries, I've been to the grocery store every day. The kids eat constantly. I try to force a schedule and it just feels like chaos sometimes. And I feel like as a teacher, I'm used to, and they are as well, being kids in school is routine structure. This is every minute of our day is calculated. And then when we have summertime, unstructured play is so important, but it's also the devil's playground. They go nuts when there's this freedom. And we do plan things and we have friends we go hang out with, or we'll go somewhere, but we're not spending tons of money and we're trying to live within our means really well.
Okay.
And
I'm jumping in. Because if you were here, I would ask you permission. If it was cool, I would just give you a hug for a second.
No.
Will you do me a huge favor?
Yeah.
I want you to take as deep a breath as humanly possible, and I want you to hold it for an awkwardly long count of 5. Okay? As deep as you can. Ready? 1, 2, suck in as much air as you can. And hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you exhale, I want you to pull your shoulders down as low as they will go. Okay? I want you to just sit there for a second.
Okay.
Number 1, You are not a bad mom for wanting space between your boys and your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Yeah.
The next time you tell yourself that, I want you to say, hey, Sarah, I talked to this YouTube guy, and he said that's not true. Okay? You're not a bad mom for wanting a break. You're not a bad teacher because you have 3 knuckleheaded boys and you're quote unquote supposed to be the expert on all this stuff and you don't know what day it is.
Yeah.
What happens is you get in this loop that, well, I must be terrible at my job and I must be terrible at home and I must be terrible at my wife. And what kind of mom doesn't even want to be around her kids? I finally get time off and you get in this death spiral and you end up in your closet on the phone with a podcaster. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Unstructured play is incredibly important for kids. And so are ridiculously firm boundaries. So creating time and space, here's what that looks like. It looks like you calling a family meeting with the boys and saying, prefacing it with, this is a grown-up conversation. And they will go, and they'll look at each other side-eyed and kind of get all tough. And you tell them, stand up tall, stand up straight. This is a grown-up conversation. And they'll get all wiggly-waggly. And then you tell them, beginning tomorrow, Mom is off limits until 10 a.m. Mom's off limits. What you're going to give them is an incredible gift of watching their mom rest and recharge and recoup. And they're going to take this lesson into their marriages. They're going to take this lesson with their girlfriends. They're going to take this lesson into the workplace when they have exhausted pregnant moms working for them who are also incredible at their jobs. So I'm talking about total life change and legacy change by simply telling your boys, Mom's off limits until this time. And you've heard of your teachers, you've heard of conscious discipline? Just the framework. So one of the cornerstones of that framework, one of the 7 pillars or whatever you call it, is choices. I found out once that my wife was actually doing this to me, and I didn't even know it. And she's a teaching guru. But here is your options for breakfast. They get 2 choices, and they get to own the choice. Here is the options for between the time of 7:30 and 10. You will go outside, but also you won't leave the yard. So here's 2 or 3 things you can do in that time. If one of you violates this, all 3 of you fill in the blank. Here's the choice you'll have made, and here's the consequence or accountability. And so what we're going to do is we're going to slowly give these boys some autonomy within some really strong fenced walls. And they're going to feel like they're pulling one over on Mom. They're going to practice autonomy. They're also going to be safe. They're also going to break stuff, but it's going to be in a place that you designed things to be broken in. And Mom is going to wake up slow and have coffee and read and journal and stare off into space and put her feet up outside on the front porch.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was thinking about you must do these things like in the morning time.
You get to. You get to pick. When you say must, they go to war. When you say, here's your 2 choices, they feel like they win.
Right.
It's what my wife did. She's like, we can go to Mexican food or pizza. And I'm like, I'm the man of this house. We're having Mexican food. That's what I'm talking about. And she got what she wanted. You see what I'm saying? So we're not. The moment you start going to must, and you have to, the moment those boys, and you desperately want them to buck that system, because one day their government is going to tell them you must, and they're going to go, do we? And that's the kind of men you want to raise.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to give them practice on how to give Mom space, give them practice on how to honor Mom and Dad, and they're going to run their little 8 and 10 and 12-year-old heads up against these boundaries and see if they hold. And with a smile on your face, you'll say, hey, you chose to interrupt me between when I woke up and 10 a.m., so you just chose for absolutely no screen time today at all. None. 0. Mm-hmm. I hope tomorrow you don't make that choice.
Yeah.
And they will get that message real quick when Mom's firm.
Yeah. I feel like I've been really rigid before where I'm like, okay, we're doing this, this, and this, and this, and this, like with a schedule of our day.
But do you see how you're telling them what they're going to be doing instead of
I'm
inviting
not
them in?
giving the choice.
That's right.
Okay.
And it is magic inviting them along for the ride. And the lessons downstream are beneficial. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. There's going to be some morons on the YouTube channel who come, those boys need to be told what. Whoever says that is stupid. They're dumb. They're just dumb. It's dumb. It's not good for them short term. It's not good for them middle term. It's not good for them long term. Because you are in the process of raising men. You're not in the process of curating a summer vacation for an 8 and a 10 and 12-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you and your husband, who in no way am I saying he's a bad guy. Not even close. He's probably an amazing guy. I trust you that he is.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I didn't know. And it wasn't until the school year was over that my wife started saying, okay, here's what I've just been through. Here's what I need the next 30 days to look like. That I got a picture of her world. And so it's really easy for me as husband, a guy who loves my wife, who's involved and engaged with my kids, to just wake up June 1 and it's business as usual. And I've got a wife suffering from PTSD who is also now full-time stay-at-home mom and not fully recovered yet. So it's important for you and your husband to go, okay, what is June going to look like? What's July going to look like? What are we aiming towards? What is camps? Who's going to drive? Who's going to pick up? How does this impact your work from home? All of those things, let's just go sit down and say, okay, let's dream together what the thing's going to actually look like. What's our picture for the summer? Because the picture might be your husband's had a pretty quiet house to work from home, and now he's got 3 maniacs in there. And a wife who listens to a lot of murder podcasts, and at some point they're not going to find your kid's body because you know what to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's going to expect, but his picture is business as usual. Your picture is, God, I need some help. And so both of those are great. You just got to sit down and navigate that together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Can I give you one more thing?
Yeah.
That time until 10 a.m.
Okay.
If you use that time until, and by the way, I just picked that number arbitrarily. It could be 9 o'clock. It could be noon. I don't care what it is. That's for you and your family. But there has to be some protected time for mom that your boys get to see. Mom is honoring her mental health and her physical health and our family by putting her oxygen mask on first. They've got to see that, and it's got to be sacred time.
Yeah.
You can't. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm one of those 5 a.m. Weirdos that goes to work out really early.
Fantastic.
So they see me come home, they know where I was, but then they're like, Mom, I want this, Mom, I want that. And my day just goes.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And you wake up and it's 2:45 p.m. and you just start yelling inside.
I just feel crazy. And
yes.
I don't like saying, I feel crazy. I don't like that.
It's okay. But I want you to take ownership of the craze. It's not these rambunctious little boys' fault that they're rambunctious little boys. Thank God they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's the structure and the balance. And not balance, I hate that word. It's the structure and the boundaries inside that house. So I'm going to tell you something that's really hard, but I'm telling you because I love you. The crazy that you're feeling is crazy you are allowing to happen. And so what I'm telling you is to just take ownership of the day. And you got to have your husband's buy-in on this. So I'm glad that here you say I get up at 5 a.m. It's real easy to fall into the trap of just do nothing in that holy sacred time. And I want you to be intentional about that time, whether it's exercise, whether it's calling your mom, whether it's writing letters, whether it's going to work out at 5 a.m. and then meeting a friend for breakfast at 6:30. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be.
Put that on your calendar and let your kids know.
Yeah.
Mom has her special breakfast on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, I have a hard time relaxing.
I know you do.
My husband will point that out.
I know.
I know. I'm like, he's on the couch after we've cleaned up or done something, after dinner or whatever, and he just sits, and I'm like, how do you just sit? He's like, it's good for you. You should try it.
Okay. Can I ask you a real hard question that's going to be kind of a left turn?
Oh, sure.
Let me try to ask this in a polite way. Where did I'll ask it how I asked a caller on a previous show. Where did that ticker tape that runs below, when you watch the news, that little thing that has a stock market underneath it just running and running?
Yeah. Yes.
Underneath the movie that is the life of my friend Sarah from H-Town, my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Your ticker tape just runs and says, you suck at all of this. You're not good at any of this. You're not good at any of this. Where does that come from?
I don't know if I really say it to myself.
I know, but your body experiences it. And here's how I know.
Okay.
Because you are unable to prop your feet up and let your knuckleheaded boys run around because you think I'm, quote unquote, supposed to be fill in the blank. The supposed to be and the shoulds never stop in your heart and mind.
Yeah, should's not a great word.
No, and it dominates your life.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Growing up, I have amazing parents, and my dad was always traveling. He's a pilot, and so my mom was just she was doing everything while Dad was gone, And I think maybe it's just like my vision of what being a mom is. It's like you're nonstop. You're serving your family. You're like not, and just
yes.
go.
Okay, you just did like a year's worth of therapy in 30 seconds. Here's your magic. Here's your magic moment. Are you ready?
Sure, yeah.
I want you to take your husband out for a half day. Pay for the babysitter, whatever you got to do. Don't leave those 3 boys because they'll burn your house down, and you know that.
Yeah.
I want you to take your husband out, and I want you to explore this one question. Husband who I love, who's amazing, what is your picture of a wife and mom? Not what do I think it is, because both of you can talk and you're going to use the same words, but you're going to have very different pictures. And I want you to paint a picture of what you think the perfect mom is, the perfect wife is, the perfect housekeeper is, whatever words you want to throw in there. And I'm almost guarantee you that your husband is going to be like, that lady scares me. And I think you nailed it. I think your body's running an old script that it picked up from an awesome mom that you had. You got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. But the message underneath the you got to's is you're nothing if you don't. And I think that message would stun you if you were honest about it, and it would stun your husband because he loves you. And he knows you're incredible. I know you're incredible. So let's build a life. I say this all the time. Let's build a non-anxious life in our home, starting with mom puts her oxygen mask on first. Mom takes care of mom so that she can lean in and be a maniac with these boys. And of course, we're going to go to the pool. Of course, we're going to go to camp. Of course, we're going to go to the zoo, whatever other junk you got going on. We're going to go to the Astros game or whatever. But every day starts with mom honoring mom and mom having Sabbath and rest and peace and mom and dad building a life together that's sustainable throughout the summer so that we can go back in to be a teacher in the fall. I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful for you. Stay on the line. I'm going to send you a copy of Own Your Past, Change Your Future. It's got some steps on how to build this life I'm talking about. And I can't wait, man. I wish it was in the fall because I got my new book coming out. I can't wait. Oh, I need to get you a copy of it when it's out. But it's not out yet, just to lay out the steps here. But you are on the way, Sarah. Thank you for being brave.